Guys, we've been waiting for this one since Infinity Countdown Darkhawk ended. It is Infinity Wars Sleepwalker #1. Hit the music! Guys, I am actually excited about Sleepwalker #1. It's done by Chad Bowers and Chris Sims, and they were the same guys that did Infinity Countdown Darkhawk 1 through 4, which ended up actually being a really good book. If you don't know anything about Darkhawk, which I knew a little bit, I remembered him as a character, but not a lot of his backstory or anything like that. They did a good job, I thought. Made an exciting storyline. So I'm really excited to see what they do with Sleepwalker, because I remember this guy from when I was a kid, but I really don't know a lot about him. I remember a little bit about the dreamscape and him only being able to be a superhero basically while the dude Rick was asleep. But we'll get into that as we move into the comic book, guys. Like I said, I'm really excited about this because Darkhawk was good. So it starts with Rick Sheridan. He's doing a documentary over lesser known superheroes in New York City, and that actually works out well because I think Marvel's trying to protect a lot of its licenses on some of these characters that they don't use as much, such as Darkhawk, Sleepwalker, Silhouette here. Different characters that if they don't use them, they fall into public domain, and anybody can pick them up at that point and use them for whatever they want as far as publishing. But anyways, he's wrapping up this interview with Silhouette, and as he does, she's really appreciative that he's sharing the story of these lesser known characters. And they're all back and forth. He's leaving to go do another interview with Hummingbird, and then there's this huge explosion. So immediately, Silhouette, who here in a minute looks like she jumps into a trash can, is actually her ability is she can travel through the dark realm, which basically she can travel through shadows. She can teleport through them, and that's what she does. She takes off. Well, Rick, he runs down an alley because to be Sleepwalker, he has to be asleep. Well, apparently in the years since we last seen Sleepwalker, he's learned to do that through meditation. So he cops a squat, he starts meditating, tunes everything out, and then Sleepwalker appears. So Rick still has enough consciousness or whereabouts to say, hey, here's where the problem is. There was an explosion, it was in Central Park, something's wrong. Sleepwalker understands, and he's off. So one thing I really liked here is that this explosion that you see here is actually this explosion right here. Which this explosion right here was in Infinity Wars #2, and it was caused by this raccoon right here when he was going off on everybody. And I thought that was just a nice callback back to Infinity War 2, the large explosion, bringing the attention of additional superheroes, even some of the lesser ones, to the area immediately. So Sleepwalker flies in and immediately surveys the situation, and what he sees is Captain America and Doctor Strange merged together. He sees Moon Knight and Spider-Man merged together, and he doesn't understand what's going on, but he knows that he sees the Infinity Stones, and he immediately goes in for the attack. And he tries to do it before Gamora senses him, but and whether she does or not, it doesn't matter because it's too late. She executes her snap, and when she does, he is pulled out of the conscious realm and into the dreamscape with the rest of the Sleepwalkers. So if you go back and you remember my one complaint about Infinity Countdown Darkhawk, it was dialogue, whole lot of dialogue. Well, we get some of that here, and I get it. We're catching up on a character and a very difficult situation, explaining how the Sleepwalkers, how they exist within this different realm, and how it ties into the Infinity Stones. And so basically what happened here is when Gamora folded the universe in half, Earth as Sleepwalker knew it ceased to exist. So he was summoned back by the Council. And she basically explains that, Gamora put all life on Earth into the Soul Stone. She's calling it Soul World, and it's not unlike the Mindscape that they inhabit. So they've known for a while that the Mind Stone could connect to their realm, but they never considered that entire worlds could be within the gems. And they're saying, the woman here is saying it's quite fascinating. And Sleepwalker kind of goes off. He's like, fascinating. Gamora's attacked Earth, and with a snap of her finger, she just cut the population in half. And she's doing basically just what her father did. And one of them explains that, well, look, when Thanos did that, he filled the whole universe with dread, and it created more nightmares. But the way Gamora did it, there's no nightmare really to go with it. There's no negative fallout. She's actually made our jobs as the managers of the dream world easier. And basically from here, Sleepwalker's like, look, I gotta go check on Rick and see what's happening. And he gets told basically, look, you are too close to him, and it has hurt your judgment. Even someone as effective as you, who's done so much, this is causing problems. You're too close to him, and you are being reassigned. And he at first just straight up asked, and if I refused to do this, he basically gets told he'll be stripped and banished to where he will actually be considered a nightmare. And if he tries to come back for any reason, he'll be executed. So yeah, that's kind of a bummer. So the next scene we go to, they being three of the I forgot the name of their race. I'm just gonna call them Sleepwalkers because I don't want to go look it up. But they're out on the edge of the mindscape, and they got his old buddy from way back when and the rookie. And he basically tells them, look, follow me in. And then after that, we get this nice 2-page spread. This 2-page spread isn't just interesting. It lays down some important facts to understand about Sleepwalker's people. And there's 2 truths that he mentioned. And the first one is that the mindscape is endless. It goes on forever, and we will never vanquish the horrors that are within it, that they can never defeat all of them. The second is that every nightmare, no matter how grotesque, how disgusting, began as someone's dream. Interesting point here is that when Gamora folded the universe in half and combined these people, she didn't eliminate half the nightmares. In fact, she's created more because you have two psyches that are just basically head-on collision. Think back to Soldier Supreme with Captain America, where he's having this self-doubt issue where he wants to be leading up front, but he knows that all the magic and stuff he does should be done in secret. There's that duality about him, that is internal conflict that is going to manifest in these horrible, horrible dreams that is going to make everything so much worse for the Sleepwalkers. The so what of him diving into this deep, dark hole full of nightmares is that he is finding Gamora's dream that's become a nightmare. Now, for some reason, he needs Rick to be able to make it through these realms, the different worlds within the stones, apparently. So I don't quite understand that. But he's going to use the Imaginator, which looks like an invincible star off of Super Mario or Mario Kart. And with the Imaginator, he can feel the dreams of those within the Soul World. Even among Gamora's warped creation, there are those whose dream life connects them to the other stones. So he's going out and trying to find those individuals so he can exploit them. I don't quite understand how. I'm thoroughly confused at this point, but I'm having fun with it, and so we'll keep rocking on. And one of the reasons I'm having fun is I'm peeking over at the other page, and I already see this dude, Man Thing Thum, who is connected to the Reality Stone and protecting the Nexus within the Soul World. But Sleepwalker says he's an asset, but one I should probably save for later. Then we get to see the Dark Starhawk, and who actually possesses or dreams of time and space. And while that's certainly going to be useful, it's not what the Sleepwalker's looking for right now. Who he finds is Scott Banner, and I'm trying to figure out that's Mordock, but who is he? Hydra Mordock? Other than the Hydra part, what is he? Y'all gonna have to figure this one out in the comments below. They call it Monica, the maneuverable organism networked for infinite combat aggression, which they're just not really good at acronyms. But who is that? Who is MODOK combined with here? And also, who is Hydra combined with here? Because Hydra is HIDRA, which is highly destructible radical armaments. Which you got me on this one, Marvel. Without Googling it, I'm not going to find out who those individuals are combined with. More important than Monica and Hydra, though, is Little Monster, which is Ant-Man, Scott Lang, combined with Bruce Banner Hulk, and he's just throwing folks around, just hulking out Ant-Man style, throwing everybody around. And as he's doing that, Sleepwalker shows up and says, "You understand power, Scott Banner. Will you help me save my friends?" And that is the end of Sleepwalker number 1. So guys, I don't know about you, but I like that. I liked Sleepwalker number 1. Excited to check out Sleepwalker number 2. He's a different character, but I think they're doing some good things with him. Like I said at the very beginning, this is from the same guys that did Darkhawk, Infinity Countdown Darkhawk, Chad Bowers and Chris Sims. They got a new artist on this one, Todd Knock, but I think he's good. I like him. I didn't have any problem with the art at all. Actually, a lot of it, I thought it was really good. I'm excited to see how Sleepwalker is going to tie in with what Loki's doing right now. If those two are going to cross paths, and how that's going to impact everything going forward with Gamora having the stones, having the Infinity Gauntlet, and it's turning out to be a pretty fun so far. But that's all I got for this one, guys. Hey, if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you do. Leave a like and put your comments below. Who was that MODOK Monica character? I missed it. If you know, put it in the comments, guys. Hey, Real Comic Stacks out.